Kobbie Mainoo is a special talent, and there's not many in
But
football. There's not many special talents here that come out of any academy. Do you know what I'm
I, f-
saying? Like
I feel like you're doing what we both
Kobbie's
hate.
special.
I feel like you're doing what we both we're that's just like, as much as it's a joke. What the obviously Luke Littler with the darts had what the older darts players essentially let him enjoy football. Let him enjoy football. Let him enjoy his darts.
Mm.
Let him enjoy his darts. Kobbie Mainoo, he might be. I've not seen enough of him to say
Mm.
anything yet. But I just I'll
He,
put that.
he's ridiculously talented, like to
He
the
is.
point where it's like the only thing that would ever stop Kobbie Mainoo, yeah, of from reaching the heights he's meant to reach is his own attitude, and he don't have a problem with his attitude. You can see that he's a shy kid that just wants to play football. The only thing that can stop him, yeah, is him in it.
Because
Even before you signed Mudryk, when Arsenal was linked with him, I watched clips of Mudryk on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, he's got something, but he ain't that good. Do you know what I mean? How you man parted with the amount of money that you parted with? I'm looking at Mudryk and I'm thinking, you know what, he's got something about him. If you can get him for a cheeky 25 million, like, and then you can give him time, fair enough.
But that's the problem. Like Mudryk's, I feel like he's that sort of player. But then I think with the situation Chelsea have, right, what Mudryk needed was a decent winger in front of him, an older person to learn off of. I'm gonna be honest, Raheem Sterling ain't that guy. He's a backup dancer in a big team. Raheem Sterling. He's not someone who leads a team at all. Personally, that's how I feel when I watch him and how he acts. You know, when I watched him against Wolves and I see Enzo Fernandez out sprinting him, I'm like, what you do? You're the winger. You're the outlet. Why aren't you there? But he's wandering around, and it's like, you're not the person I'd want a player to learn off of. You know, what Mudryk needed someone in front of him, but then the issue was that Chelsea's whole model and what Todd Bowley and Bedad Eghbali want, the under 25s is sort of the holy grail of football. There's a really good thread, actually. I'll send it to you. You can have a read of it later. I don't agree with all of it. But there's a lot of it where I think, it's really important to read. It's on my Twitter, actually. Hang on, let me get it. Let me send it in now. But yeah, it's like, people look at sort of like that be the holy grail of football, and then Chelsea, you're doing their whole amortization contracts and all this sort of stuff, right? The issue with all of this was you're going to put a lot of pressure on people that aren't ready.
Yep. I hear it, but this is what I'm seeing that at my club right now, bro. Like, the thing is, it's got to the point where, like, man will turn around and say, oh, but Rants, they're young, they need time. Cool, they can have time, but not at my club. Send them out on loan. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, yeah, when they project on these players, yeah, and they want them to be something that I can see with my two eyes that they don't have the capability to be, it's not fair on us, and it's not fair on them either. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair on these players. Like, go out, learn your trade. When you're ready, you come back, bro. That's what players used to do. Players like Jesse Lingard and all these other guys. Even you can go back as far as David Beckham going to Preston and that, bro. These guys went out on loan. Do you know what I mean? I see the old video of Jack Grealish at Notts County. You know what I'm saying? Like, out on loan at Notts County, like, while he was at Villa. Like, bro, this is, man used to go out and learn the game, and now you're throwing these guys in at the top level. They're not ready. You're putting them on big money, and then their social media profile's blown up, and you're using these guys as poster boys for the club and the PR and all of that. It's getting to their head, bro, and they're not focusing on their football no more.
This is it.
They're not focusing on their football. Man said, I hope Kobbie's not one of them, bro. Kobbie Mainoo is a special talent, and there's not many in football. There's not many special talents here that come out of any academy. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like you're doing what we
Kobbie's
both hate.
special.
I feel like we're that's just like, as much as it's a joke. What the obviously Luke Littler with the darts had what the older darts players essentially let him enjoy football. Let him enjoy football. Let him enjoy his darts. Let him enjoy his darts. Kobbie Mainoo, he might be. I've not seen enough of him to say anything yet. But I'll just put that.
He's ridiculously talented, like, to the point where it's like the only thing that would ever stop Kobbie Mainoo, yeah, of from reaching the heights he's meant to reach is his own attitude, and he don't have a problem with his attitude. You can see that he's a shy kid that just wants to play football. The only thing that can stop him, yeah, is him in it, and he's got the right amount of arrogance in terms of he knows his ability, but he's a humble youth. You could tell he was raised well. Do you know what I'm saying? That African family, he didn't have a choice.
Yeah, but then neither was Rashford, neither was another
Yeah,
player.
but Marcus Rashford's a completely different ball game, bro. Like, bruv, Kobbie Mainoo's family, yeah, bro. Listen, he's an African boy, blood. The thing's different there. You know them ones there. The thing is different there. If man's acting up, yeah, he's getting slapped. There's no two ways, and it's a different thing, bro. Because I grew up, obviously, I got Caribbean heritage. Yeah, my parents were strict, yeah, but bruv, African parents, forget it, bruv. You know, their thing is different. Listen, I had African teachers, yeah, at school in primary school, and some of the punishments they used to give us, I was thinking, yeah, these men are moving mad creative, blood. They'll have you balancing books on your head in the corner, facing the wall and shit. That's what these men were doing and getting you to stand on one leg and that. Bro, bruv, the African thing's different, bro. I can't even lie. It's different. They got creative torture ways of torturing you as a child.
I get that, but
You know, like that.
back to the football though.
No, but I'm saying Kobbie Mainoo, he will be fine. You know, same with Bukayo Saka, bro. Why do you think he's the way he is, bro?
I get that, but I'm saying it's just a case of let's see. Just let him play his football.
Listen, bro, that's my guy, bro. Like man even got the shirt, bro. Listen, I'll put my whole, I will put my whole, yeah. I'll put everything on it, bruv. I'll put everything on it. That Kobbie Mainoo's him, bro. Everything on it, bro. Don't care, bro. Like no one's telling me otherwise. He's the guy. I've never bought a player's shirt in my life.
Well, I mean, look. I hope for the sake of his career because he does look good. He does look good. I hope
He's here.
Well,
He's here, bro.
Just let's see.
He's here, bro. He's here.
Okay.
He's here, bro. You know what I mean? He's here, and he's not a Gallagher. He's not a Mount. He's here, bro.
Listen, Conor Gallagher has his value, and I'll maintain that.
Bro, he's better than all of them, and he's 18 years old.
Yeah, well, I've not seen enough of him. I'm intrigued to see more though. But you know, he looks good. I do think that that's what we're saying though, in terms of like you want to see that player develop. You'd want to see the growth, but whether or not, I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about him saying it, but yeah, like in terms of like this quality, in terms of how like if Kobbie Mainoo was at Chelsea right now, we'd be selling him for like or trying to sell him for 80 million because it's pure profit.
Maybe, do you know what I'm saying? Maybe.
No, we would be. We'd be trying to sell him because he's pure profit.
Now, to be fair, if he was at Chelsea, he'd be playing, and you lot would be winning more games.
No, he probably would be. Actually, but he might not.
You put him in the midfield. If you put him in the midfield with Enzo, yeah, bro, he'd be cooking. I'll be real. Yeah. And this is how I know Kobbie Mainoo's a baller, because Kobbie Mainoo can go, yeah, and play in any team in the Premier League right now. I don't doubt that. And that's how I rate Man United youngsters, bro. Do you know what I mean? The rest of our youngsters, no one wouldn't touch them. They wouldn't touch them, bro.
I don't think Kobbie might. If he was at Chelsea, he wouldn't be playing. He probably would be good enough to play, but he won't be playing because we'll sign some random 12-year-old from Venezuela for 80 million quid.
Hey, maybe, but I'll be real, yeah. Like he walks into that midfield right now, and that's just what it is, and that's the biggest compliment of this guy.
I haven't enough of him to say anything. So
absolute baller. Like man said, he's a low-key pet player. Then man tried to get him before like because they thought right, he might not stay at Man United. If not, they're gonna try and get him. Like bro, he's that kind of player, bro. He's proper. He's proper, and that's one thing. And the thing is with me, yeah, I don't back Man United youth prospects. Like you man can look through the years. Mason Greenwood's the only other one that I've ever backed, and he proved it. Do you know what I mean? Other than Pogba. Pogba was a sure thing, though. Do you know what I mean? Pogba was a sure thing. Like Greenwood was a sure thing. Do you know what I mean? Mainoo is a sure thing. Do you know what I'm saying? He's a sure thing. And these things are once in a generation, bro, if you're lucky. The fact that we got Mason and Kobbie Mainoo so close together it's weird.
I don't think you're going to see Mason Greenwood in a United shirt again.
We'll see, innit? The bottom line is there's 4 years between them. Like to get players of that quality within 4 years apart, Academy's done good. Do you know what I'm saying? Because before that, Pogba was ages before that, and obviously even though Lingard was the same class, Lingard nowhere near as good as Paul Pogba. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where when we're looking at our academy and stuff like that, if we get one player out the academy every 4 years, we've done a great job. The way we're
Mm.
trying to force this academy youth thing now is it's just a joke, isn't it? Because these men are not good enough, bro.
No, I mean, I think you've got to find the right gems in the academy and build a team. But I think the best teams, and I think a best example is, let's talk about the 99 team. So you can't win anything with kids, right? That was a combination of ready-made players, older players to guide the younger ones, and the younger
Yeah,
players.
we didn't win it because of the kids, though. Do you know what I mean? Like people, that's the thing. That's what people need to understand. Like when Man United brought these kids in, we had a titanium spine, you know, like that. And this is what it is, and this is what people mistake about Man United, because when you look at Man United, and this was pretty much my life supporting the club. So obviously, class of 92 comes in, United's already got a stupid spine, and then obviously Roy Keane bought Roy Keane. But when you look at the spine of that team, the spine was there. And then those players became the spine. So Gary Neville became the spine. Scholes became the spine. Beckham became the spine. Giggs became the spine. And then they added to that. And that's the reason why, United have had the success, because the spine didn't really change that much, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it was like they learned, they matured whilst having the Roy Keanes next to them and so on and so forth. So that's why your problem at Chelsea now is, what's your spine?
Yeah,
You don't really have one.
Spine. I think they're looking at building it. If I'm looking at what they're going to be building it as, right, which I think is a stupid idea because it doesn't have the people around it. It's not, that these guys are FM merchants. They're FM and FIFA merchants. So with this portfolio, he has a potential. Yeah, okay, he's not going to reach that potential because he doesn't have the network and the framework around him. But hey, what do we know? I think if you look at what the spine, it's probably, I think it's, well, whether it's Petrovic or not, we'll have to see. But you've got probably right now Jordi Petrovic. I think they're going to probably try and make Disasia and Badiashile the two centre backs, unless it's Levi Colwill, which it should be. But one of those. And then you're probably going to have, will be Enzo Caicedo, and then they need a centre forward. But
that's it. You're trying to build your spine, with young players that are unproven. That's not how you build a spine. You build a spine with experienced players, and then you put inexperience around the spine to mask the deficiencies and allow for mistakes and allow for losses of form, because young players are notoriously inconsistent, bro.
Yeah, Chelsea haven't had a proper spine, probably since that first Conte season, where I go, that was the spine of that team. Like, I think after that season, we got rid of most of it. And then it's just been bit parts after that. Like, the last proper spine Chelsea had was the Czech, Lampard, Terry, Cole, Drogba, etc. Because there was, you built off of that. And obviously we sold the people, I saw someone talk about, Roman selling youth players, and I didn't say anything. Yeah, we didn't say anything because those players wouldn't have got into that team. Whereas right now, to be honest, I think most Chelsea Academy players would get into our team and should be getting into our team. There's certain players where it's like, I don't think he's a player for the spine, but we mentioned Conor Gallagher earlier. I think, look, if 70, 80 million, which is what was being touted for him, comes in, obviously numbers-wise and stats, right, he's doing pretty well, right? He's first for most things. And I know people can say, oh, you said stats aren't important. No, stats are important, but they're not the whole story. In terms like everything else, apparently, you talk about the coaches, like you speak to coaches at Chelsea, they talk about how Conor Gallagher in training, because of his energy, obviously sets a standard for other players to try and keep up and do that. He's not the most technically gifted, no, but his energy, it sets the standard for other players to be like, this amount of work you need to put in. Obviously on the pitch, it's a similar situation. And obviously, we talk about, energy, obviously not being everything. It's not, because that's what most modern footballers are, unfortunately. He sets an example there, but he's not someone who I think would be a starter for Chelsea if we had the better players. I think he'd be one of those players when you come into the squad, he's one of the ones who welcomes you and goes, right, this is what it means to play, because he has an understanding of the DNA. This is what Chelsea is. This is what we're built up with. That's what came through all those youth players. That's what Mason Mount had when he was in the first team. That's what Tio Livramento's got. When you look at, even you look at the players who don't play for Chelsea, who should be playing for Chelsea, who should be in that squad, but are now elsewhere doing really well. Livramento, Mark Gahey, Jeremy Boga, Nathan Ake, Andreas Christensen, all these players which have gone on.
About Ake.
Ake's a Chelsea youth product. I saw Ake play in a Youth Cup final. Even Trevor Chalobah, Nathaniel Chalobah, who obviously didn't do as well as career because of injuries, whatever, he still sets an example, whatever club he goes to, for work rate. Wherever he went, he was someone who, even if he maybe wasn't someone he's a senior figure, but he doesn't play as much, wherever he is, you hear him, people talk about how important he is for those teams because of the mentality, because of the strength, because of everything that's instilled in that academy. But, is what it is. Miguel, I'm trying to back up your point. Right, stop being an idiot. Right, behave yourself.
Yeah, but they were sold under Roman, and the thing is, but this is the thing, and this is why having the right infrastructure.
Tomori, Lewis Hall.
Yeah, Tomori. Your guy Lampard got rid of him, innit? But you know what the mad thing is? Yeah, it's like that's what I mean about the infrastructure, bro. Because with Roman wanted to spend the money and buy ready-made players, of course. Do you know what I mean? And he sold these younger players. I get it, but there needs to be a mixture. When you've got good players, you need to bring them through, and that was the thing. Like right now, I think that Chelsea's biggest issue is the recruitment is too far the other way now. Now you're bringing in these players in terms of data and potential, but you're not bringing players in that are doing anything right now. Like the only player potentially that you could say you did that with Sterling, and I think that was a very bad signing because I don't think he's very good, and he's not the kind of player also that the new generation are going to learn off. He's not that kind of leader, bruv. He's not that kind of player. He's not an example. Do you know what I mean? And for over 300 grand a week, he's meant to be carrying that attack, and he's not.
But this is why, for example, when I was obviously we laughed at it in the summer, or you laughed at it. That's why I was saying you sign players like we talked about. But then I was looking at that team. The biggest issue Chelsea have is we were supposed to have the best in class, right? In terms of these sporting directors, they're not, right? Paul Winstanley, they were talking about him. He should have been following Chris Hughton out the door apparently at Brighton, and he got lost his job. I've spoken to people who have worked with Paul Winstanley, not at Brighton, but other clubs, and they've all got. How has he got that? Like, what? How has he got? Look, Stewart, he apparently hitting with the sales. Fair play. This summer, got rid of a lot of the dead wood. Is what it is, right? But the pair of them together have failed to bring in players for good prices, or failed to sort of organise a team. And you think they're football people, right? So why are they so focused on simply signing youth prospects? We turned down James Maddison because he was too old. I appreciate maybe he's a very injury-prone player, but he's a player who leads a team. He does. He's got a good energy about him, right? He's probably someone I'd have gone for. But then it's like, I'm looking at that team going, do you know what? We talk about maybe Nathaniel Chalobah maybe not being such a key part in the squad he's in now, but being a leader and someone that can help the team and help the younger players. I'm looking at James Ward-Prowse. Like, why do we not maybe go for that in the summer? Because he's a leader. He understands the Premier League. He's got a set piece in him. So if you got like trying to break down a low block in the 80th minute,
as a role player, 100%. Why not bring him in?
Exactly. But you sign players like that. But when we're going to go and spend £60 million on Romeo Lavia, who's played 23 minutes of football, appreciate he might be a quality young player, looks really good, but really, like 60 million? Are you sure? Oh, we'll amortize the fee over the next 2,500 years. It'll be worth £5 a year. And I go, whatever, mate. Like, you've absolutely ruined it, right? And the fact that, like, the amortization, as I said to you in the summer, it's really funny. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. It works if the player are going to hit the ceilings and do better. It doesn't work when the structure is not in place. So they've gone, we're going to pay off this contract over 9 years. But if Chelsea are playing poorly because the structure's not in place and the team can't flourish because it doesn't have everything that it needs and the medical staff are awful, so we're not going to even see those key players that we might need, guess what? It's not going to work because all these players are going to leave midway through their contracts and we won't be able to shift them because they've got 8 years left on a deal.